I'm doing so bad. Okay, ready, Freddie? Okay, so Alex had a really, really wonderful suggestion, and I think I'd love to do this every single week, where we start off with anyone who has something to share. Like, what did you do this week that absolutely scared you, but you feel like you got some growth from? Alex, I'd love if we started with you.
Okay. I've been like super scared to talk to people. Just like I need to get out of my comfort zone, but the thing is that like it's not about me, like it's about you. Okay? So like I may say something that you may like latch onto that like may change your life, help you. And that was my big thing, like, and it just changes like everything. Like it makes me like not so scared anymore, just because like if it's not about me, what do I have to be scared of? So yeah.
I love that. Did anyone else do anything this week that scared them? Chris and Kerr?
I may have spoke on stage and shook the whole entire time. But besides that, nothing too scary. I don't know. It was fun. Inspire a few people to get out of their seats and do some crazy stuff. But yeah, it was fun.
Anybody else before we get started? Okay, cool. So I hope everyone has your phones. We're going to need them a little bit later. Just stick them on mute, stick them beside you. If you guys don't know me, I'll be hosting the call today. My name is Morgan. I'm from about an hour outside of Toronto, Ontario. Isagenix found me when I was, can you guys hear my phone going off? I don't even know how to turn that off. Isagenix found me when I was in the midst of university. I was 19 years old, and I truly believe there is no better time than to find an opportunity like this. I was able to totally revamp my physical health, but at the same time, I was able to find the vehicle to really help me dream, you know, this big life that I've always wanted, but I've never known how to really find it. I've also been plugged into such a phenomenal community with all of you guys, which has just totally shaped who I am as a person. So I am so passionate about the START movement. For any of you guys tuning into the recording on YouTube, we are just a group of individuals with a common vision, and we want to ignite all young people to own their lives physically and financially, and through our contributions create freedom and a lasting legacy. And I don't know about you guys, but that excites me so much. We are going to hear from some of the coolest starters here today. We have decided to really put forth this one team movement and, you know, ignite all of Canada. So we've created a Facebook page called Start Canada. We've done this weekly call. It's every single Sunday. It's a training call for any of your associates. So feel free to, you know, plug anyone in, send them the recordings on YouTube. It's going to offer such a large amount of wealth. And we also have started a Start Canada committee. So if anyone on this call is interested in joining the committee, we have different people appointed, different associates from every province and territory. We even have someone like rocking it up in Nunavut, which is so cool. I didn't even know Isagenix was up there. So if any of you, you know, have any feedback, I would love to hear it. Send it to me or Tina, because this call is for you. It's for your teams. It's for you. So we want to know what you think. We want to know if you want to be involved. You know, share your story, share on some training, or have any feedback, or even want to be a part of the committee. We would love to hear from you. We do have, you know, our obvious disclaimer for anyone tuning into the recording that we work with a really phenomenal nutritional and health company called Isagenix, and we are all passionate, but we don't make any health claims. So we don't, you know, say that we treat, diagnose, cure any diseases or illnesses. You might also hear some financial claims. Please know that, you know, these are totally individual. I love that I'm a part of something that the work I put in is the outcome I get out. So everyone's story is different. We're not making any promises. And with that, I would love to jump into our new segment, which is the Starter in the Spotlight, where we are going to be finding a starter every week that you guys can, you know, connect with their story. So this week we're going to have Wes, and Wes has a pretty cool story. I don't really know how I met this guy. I think it was just through a friend of a friend. And he is just so cool. I love following Wes on social media because he's just what Start Your Life kind of stands for. He lives this life of freedom and adventure, and he does what he loves. So I'm so excited. Wes, can we hear your story?
Hey, thanks, Morgan. Thanks for the introduction. Can you guys all hear me okay? I'm in a chapters right now, so.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, yeah. So thanks for having me on the call tonight. Yeah, so my journey was kind of a lot different than some people's. I got in strictly for kind of product experience. I was trying to become a professional hockey player. I got injured. I injured my hip while I was playing out west. And so a good family friend of mine who used to play for the Boston Bruins, he introduced me to the product, and I kind of was a bit stubborn, to say the least. And but like I knew I had to go into surgery in really good shape. So I was like, fine, I'll try the products. I had about $500 in my bank account at the time. Pretty much emptied it to order some products. And then I ended up having an unreal experience. I was about 195 pounds at 12% body fat before I used the products. And then I went into surgery at 205 pounds at 8% body fat. So mine was definitely not a weight loss story. So then I got really excited about the products. And then I didn't even have a clue what this would eventually turn into. So I really dabbled part-time in the business while I was playing junior hockey. I went back to playing after surgery, and got my dad's been an entrepreneur his whole life. And I really saw this as just like one of the smartest business models in the world if you actually look at it in that way. We have a family printing company, and it's to break even, to make payroll each month, you have to make $1.5 million in our family company, which is crazy when you look at this model, and you can have a business for $200 a month, whereas our family printing company was probably a $10 million initial investment that isn't guaranteed to succeed. So if you're actually a smart person and look at this from a no hype kind of business perspective, if you look at Daydot in a traditional business, if I'm really generous, it's $50,000 minimum to start a small business. That's probably has a 97% chance of failing. The cool thing about network marketing is it allows the average person to get involved in something for a minimum startup fee of product that you consume. So your overhead you could consume, which like I was already buying this stuff anyways. And then it's a business that you have no cap on what you can make. You have no employees. You can travel. You can connect with like the coolest people in the world. So the business just made a lot of sense to me because I saw what our family business you needed to make and stuff like that. And then I got into this, and every day I've learned a bit more and more about network marketing as I was playing. I studied it and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't know why they don't teach it in school, because it's literally the smartest business plan in the world by far. And especially for young people, because we all want to, like I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and wanted to do my own thing and stuff like that. And Isagenix has never been the answer and the only thing for me. All it is the vehicle to allow me to do those things that I want to do. So potentially it takes me into the category where you can earn the wealth that the small percentage of people in the world are earning. And then it's like real estate and investing in real estate and buying companies and stuff like that. So for young people, it just makes a ton of sense. And the cool thing is anyone can do it. And so the thing that I wanted to go over that really attracted me to Isagenix as a company was the leaders in the company. So if you're new and you're on this webinar and looking into network marketing, it's very important that you find a company where the leadership is huge. Jim and Kathy Coover, Kathy Coover was in the network marketing industry in the field, which is super important. So she gets what people have to go through to build a business. And their vision obviously is something that you can stand behind to free people from physical and financial pain. And then the products are real and life-changing, and it's not a gimmick. So, and the other thing is like people for an opportunity everywhere you look. There's kids coming out of school with hundreds of $1,000s in debt that's building interest, and kids are literally stuck. They don't know what to do. So this allows the average person to really like plug in. You have tracks to run on. And if you picture it as like buying like a franchise with way less overhead, you get literally tracks to run on. It's like picture buying like a Starbucks franchise. Literally everything is in line. You got tracks to run on. All you have to work on is yourself and making yourself a better person, and the right things fall into place. So I've done like a ton of self-improvement so I can attract the right people into my business, because I have a firm belief that like I'm not begging just anyone to come work with me. I have such belief that like I get to choose who I want. I'm not begging or trying to convince people. So the coolest thing is like just being surrounded by the people that you get to surround yourself with. And I've taken trips to Hawaii. I've been there. I'm a big surfer. I love surfing and playing guitar. So those are stuff I like to do. So it allows me time freedom to do that kind of thing. So I've been to Hawaii for a month, California for a month. I went surfing on the west coast of Canada, like was on my dream board, super cool. And so it's just like being able to show someone, like so many people have dreams and stuff they want to do, but they don't know how to achieve them. So it's being able to show someone like this is the vehicle that can literally allow you to do whatever you want. And it's so much different for every person. Like I had a girl tell me a couple weeks ago that she wants to go work with tigers in Africa. And I was like, all right, like what? So it's so different for every single person. And that's the coolest thing about it. And just being able to show people tracks to run on and being able to support people is the coolest thing. So that's kind of my story. And that's kind of where I'm at now. And now I'm just continuing to build and grow myself as a person. And I'm going to Thailand in a couple weeks to just travel and connect with people and surf, and then probably from us to Australia and Bali from there. So that's the coolest thing about it, is like not having to decide, and like just being able to say yes to more things.
I love it. I love that so much. If you guys don't follow Wes on social media, like you need to, he posts like the most beautiful, most inspiring pictures. My favorite part of that is the whole time you're talking, there's like a now hiring sign, like right behind you.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. What I loved is like, I'm also in an entrepreneurship course right now, and I'm working with a lot of other young entrepreneurs, and I'm working through like how to pay my employees, how to get government funding. And like the whole time I'm sitting there like, this sucks. Like opening a traditional business sucks, and it's so hard. And, you know, investing $10 million versus investing $29, or, you know, if you go to an event like yesterday, something completely free. Like it's such a wonderful opportunity. I don't understand why more people don't get it yet, but I guess that's why we're here, right?
Yeah. And if you look at it too, like 20, so say you are in this business for 20 years, year investment in this company would be minimum what your day dot investment is in a traditional brick and mortar company. And that's being generous, saying 50 grand initial investment. So like 20 years, 50 grand, or first day, 50 grand with a 97% chance of failing. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out.
Right. I totally agree. Okay, we're going to jump into the training part of the call, and I'm so excited to introduce my girl, Trista. Trista's originally from Ontario, but she recently moved to Alberta to become a respiratory therapist, and she is so ready to kickstart her business. She's jumping into leadership roles and training and getting out of her comfort zone, so I would love if you guys could show her, Trista, some love in the feed as she jumps into some training.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hi, guys. So as Morgan said, my name's Trista. Before I get into things, I just have a couple of questions. So how many of you people here keep thinking about a couple of people, say 1 to 3 people, you keep thinking about them and you want to talk to them, and it just never really happens, whether it's because you're not really sure how to approach them, or you're maybe it's one of those kind of people that kind of intimidate you. So you don't want them to say no, and you're worried about the outcome. And I know I am. I have a list of those people. And how many of you guys still have a big growing list of connections that you want to make? All right. So today I'm going to share some tips with you guys that I've learned over even the last month. I've learned so much about connecting. Going to Celebration changed the way I connected for sure. So first, before we get into it, I will just tell you a little bit about my story, just for those of you who don't know me. So like Morgan said, I am originally from Ontario, but I'm living in rural Alberta right now, northern Alberta. Before I was introduced to Isagenix by my parents, I was a new grad from college, and I was exhausted. I couldn't make it through my work days. I was overweight, and I was stuck in really terrible eating habits. So 14 months ago when I was introduced by my parents, I was able to drop 3 pant sizes. I got rid of all those terrible eating habits, and I reclaimed so much energy. So the reason I'm so excited about the future is because, I mean, we all know how great of a gift this is and how awesome people can feel. And I just think that everybody deserves to feel this good and take the chance and just say yes and put the products in their body and watch them work. So can't wait to share it with as many people as I can. So at Celebration, I went to one of the Susan Sly breakout sessions, and she talked mostly about follow-up, but she had a few good points on connecting in general. So as Alex said in the beginning, like, we all have fear about connecting, and we all start somewhere, right? And normally we're starting in class. I was a very, very shy person. I would not go out and talk to people. That was not something I would do. It took me probably 3 years to warm up to my boyfriend's family. Like, I was not a social person. I didn't care to know new people. So for me, this was huge, and I've had to do a lot of learning. So at Celebration, Susan said how it's not about us. And Alex briefly talked about this at the beginning too. It's really not about us. And we can't be so hung up on the outcome and whether they're going to say yes or whether they're going to say no. We're really doing it. We're presenting the opportunity to them to hopefully change their lives. So we can't be hung up on the outcome or they're going to see it, right? So really just focus on presenting them the amazing opportunity that we have, and don't worry about yes or no or what they're going to say. You're presenting them with something that we all believe in, and I think that that's really awesome. So get to see Tracy O'Malley's video. It was about an hour and a half long last week. It was up for about 48 hours. So it was really good. She's going to be posting one video every week for the 90-day game plan. She'll have it open for 48 hours. They're really, really awesome. They're a little bit long, but I think they're really worth it. So this week's call, she did talk a little bit about connecting. So I'm going to share a few points that I gathered from her. So one of the things that she started with was we need to spend a little bit of time on isagenixbusiness.com and just learning a few points about each of the products. As I'm sure all of you have heard before, we don't want to memorize everything. We don't need to know each product backwards and forwards. That's why we have tools. But it is important just to know a few points about each product, because when we start connecting, people are going to start asking us questions. We're going to find those people that are interested and they're going to have questions. So we don't want to look stupid. We want to be able to answer some of their questions, and then for the in-depth tools. But that was a big tip from Tracy, is just know a few little points about each of the products and the compensation plan so that you can answer those basic questions when you start connecting. So how many of you have some fear around connecting with people? Any fear at all? So one of the things Tracy also said, and this really, really hit home for me, is when connecting, we need to do it out of love. We need to do everything out of love. So we can't let fear become the cancer in our hearts, because it will destroy everything. So her quote was, "Love trumps fear." And I really love that. I don't know, that quote just hit home for me. So I'll let you, everybody's writing. So in the 90-day game plan, I don't know if anybody has it with them beside you, but page 10 to 4, good on connecting. You can kind of write some things out, and there's even some pointers in there. On page 10, it talks about form. I don't know if anybody had ever heard of it or not. FORM. So what that stands for is family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. So these are kind of some helpful pointers on what you can connect with people about. Ask questions about their family, their occupation, their recreation, and their motivation. Get them talking. Once you get them talking, then you're going to find a common ground. And that's when you're going to be able to really start building that relationship, which I think is really important, especially when reaching out to people that you think will be product users. Very important to build that relationship and find a common ground. Someone said it at Celebration. I can't remember who it was, but the more questions you ask and the deeper you get with them to get them to their why, the more likely you are to get them to enroll and see your opportunity once you get them deep down to that why. So you want to be good at asking them questions. Really important to keep the conversation. I always try to keep the conversation going back to them. They'll always ask you about you, and I just keep going back to them. You really want to know about them. Let me just see here. So one of the other things that I'm going to talk about is from Christy Shaver. She's another one of our fellow Start Canada. And it's connecting with people, mostly if you're going to reach out to them and you think they're going to be a product user. But to start with, it's important when we're building our lists, you want to divide your list into two. So you want to have a product list, so people that you think you're going to reach out to because they're going to want the products and the products only. And then have a business list, so the people that you do think would be interested in the business, or they'd be really good at it, so you really want to share the opportunity with them. And then when you reach out with them, you want to just remember, we want to personalize everything. So a couple of the examples I'm going to give to you, you really want to personalize that for each individual that you're talking to. We want our templates to be flexible for everybody. So step number one, when trying to connect with somebody, like more specifically, if you think they're going to be good at the business, you want to message them to set up a contact time. So ideally, this should be done as a voice message. So as, you can do it on Facebook now. You can even do it as a text, call them, whatever works best for you. But them hearing your voice, they'll hear your excitement, and they're going to hear your passion for it is so much better than just sending a text message where it's just all generic, right? You can never really read a text message. So an example of how you could reach out to some of these people, and these would be people that you would know fairly well or better than others. So one of Christy's examples, I'm just going to read it, is, I know we haven't talked for a while, and I hope that you're doing well. I love and care about you so much. And this is where you personalize it, right? Like I said, so whatever feels right to you and to who you're talking to. And then say, I want to hear all about your kids, but here's the thing, I'm going to cut to the chase. So we want to get right to the point and the reason that we're reaching out to them. So I'm on a massive mission right now. I'm just getting out of an event, and I learned all about all the numbers and where we are going with network marketing in Canada and globally, and where this company is going, and I honestly don't want to leave you behind. So I really like that one, actually, because it shows some of your passion, and it's, reaching out to them as if you're caring about them, and you're, it shows that you're not just trying to build the business, you're trying to help change their lives. So then you're going to want to try to set up a time. So her example would be something like, when can we set up 10 minutes to get you to this mission that I am on? Set that time and book the appointment. And then tell them, great, I totally respect your time, and I'm going to send you a video. It's about 5 minutes long, or however long that video may be. And it's going to give you a great idea about what I'm inviting you to. So then you're going to wrap up that call, send the video, and confirm the appointment. One of the things I learned at Celebration too was, when you send that video, actually send it like 10, 15 minutes before the call, so that they don't watch it, and then if your appointment's in 2 days, they've totally forgot about it, or they haven't even watched it. So one of the things I would suggest is, do you send that video about 10 to 15 minutes before your call. So then when you do your phone call with them, or your appointment, wherever, maybe you're meeting face-to-face, at the beginning of the call, you want to talk about your purpose, and this is where it's going to be live to you guys. You want to make small talk. You want to build that relationship. This is where you would use form again. So family, occupation, recreation, motivation. And then you're going to ask them if they watched the video and what they thought about the video. And then from there, you're really just going to elaborate based on what they liked or didn't like about the video. ask them questions, let them ask you questions. And then at the end, you just want to, be clear and make sure you ask them if they have any questions, and say, do you have any questions before we get you set up and started today? So that's Christy's example. Now, last thing I want to do is a little bit of an activity with you guys. So if you can think of 1 to 3 people that you have been thinking about reaching out to and you just haven't yet, I want you to send them a message right now. We're going to give you guys about like 3 minutes to do this and try to set up that appointment or that connect. And if anybody gets an appointment set up, let us know in the chat.
I feel like we should do a prize for the first person who gets an appointment.
Okay, we can. First person to get an appointment gets a box of e-shots on me.
Can't multitask.
Don't forget to mute you guys if you guys are doing a voice message.
I don't know how to work this thing. It's very difficult to do.
Okay, I'll give everybody guys like 30 more seconds and then we'll wrap up. All right. Did everybody get a few messages out there? Mm-hmm. Perfect. So one last thing I was planning on talking about and I totally forgot before I go. I just want to show you one of the contact forms that I kind of use just to keep track of when you do connect with somebody, even if it's just a connection, a relationship connection, and you're just trying to build that relationship and you don't mention Isagenix. I always fill out, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see these. Maybe I can figure out a way to upload it into the start group. Can anybody see that at all? So basically what it is I have a spot at the top. We put their name, their email, their phone number. There's the boxes where you can check off if you have them on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, other. And then there's a bunch of spots to put, I'm not even holding this right. There's a bunch of spots here where you can put the date and some details of your conversation and maybe the connection, or you did maybe talk about Isagenix. And then it gets into, once you enroll them, you can put some information down to your enroll date, products ordered, their auto ship, their goals. If you did a welcome email, plugging them into social media, lots of things like that. And then it's just, the back's just blank, but I like that because then when you are connecting and building that relationship, I find it really important to write down some information about them. So if they have kids, what their kids' names are, all those things, so that when you talk to them in the future, you remember and you can connect with them on that personal level. So I can try to find a way to upload that into I'm not very good with technology, but I'll find a way to upload that into the start group for you guys.
Hey, Trista.
Yeah.
I think that looks like one of my creations. So I'll upload it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll upload it to Canada. I got it.
Perfect. Thanks. All right. So I want to thank you guys for inviting me on the call tonight. And I hope that you guys got some little points and tips to take away from tonight.
Woohoo!
That was so wonderful. I have one appointment already set for the 5th of September. And, I wouldn't have sat down tonight and sent out the text. So that was awesome, Trista. Thank you so much. And I love that you highlighted that, it's not about me. Because I was so much like you when I first started. I was socially awkward and didn't like talking to people. I'd much rather, be an introvert and read my books in my room by myself. But, same with what Alex was talking about. When you do it out of love, it takes all the anxiety away. And you can just be a fearless leader like you're supposed to be, because it's not about you. I wake up every day and I make that affirmation to myself. It's not about me. No matter what my actions are today, it's not about me. And it makes life, I don't know, like a lot less scary for me. And also the voice message thing, like that is so huge. That also used to be something that I was a little bit afraid of. But especially when your business starts growing and your time starts getting smaller and smaller, you don't have time to, write this perfect paragraph. It totally gets the emotion across. I love voice messaging. It just creates that relationship so much quicker than reading something. And you can also see when they've read it. And often I get messages back that, someone did their first voice message to reply to my voice message. So you're also teaching someone new. So Trista, that was so awesome. There were so many golden nuggets in there. I have so many notes. I hope you guys do too. Holy, what's happening to the screen right now?
Someone has screen shared their screen, which is very kind of you. But if you want to not do that, that'd be awesome.
I think that someone's appointment is set. That's cool.
Okay, great. You're sharing your screen. Okay, cool. Thank you.
That's so neat. But how do I make it go away?
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay. That's awesome. Who was that?
That's fantastic. Thanks for showing. Just be careful when you screen share what's on your screen, you guys.
That was so awesome. Oh, I got so many things out of that. Thank you so much, Trista. We're going to step into our next speaker, which is Claudine. And I love this lady. I just met her, I think, like a week ago. She's our committee Start Canada representative from Quebec, which is so cool. And she is such a huge inspiration for the One Team movement. She just gives out this energy that is so wonderful. I've loved connecting with her. And when I asked her some little things about her, she said that her favorite business partner is her 1-year-old daughter. So I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit more about that. Claudine, take it away.
Thanks, Morgan. Can you guys hear me well? Okay, perfect. Excellent. So I'll just share my story really quick, but before I do so, I want to see a raise of hands. Who's joined Isagenix initially for the products, not for the business, for the products? Okay, so the customers are your backbone. I'm going to come back to that point, because that's what my story is. So I joined Isagenix first 2012. I had no team. I was introduced, I have huge migraines, and a colleague of mine said, hey, you should try this, and people have lost, or she did what we're not supposed to do and try to cure disease. She said, it should help you, blah, blah, blah. So I started using products. Never did help me, but I gained some energy. So I was, wow, this is awesome. Didn't know you can make a business out of it. Didn't know anything of it. I had no team, no support whatsoever. So essentially it was the same thing for me as going to Amazon.com, ordering online. It got shipped to my house. And yeah, that was it. And I stopped after a year. that I just had no reason why I should continue, so I just stopped. And then like throughout the next few years, a lot of friends of mine introduced me to other network marketing opportunities. I didn't want to have anything to do with network marketing. I was annoyed at any, especially in Quebec, whoever's in Quebec, Arbonne is like the biggest thing here. So anyone and everyone you knew was selling Arbonne products. I was running away from network marketing, but it was the lack of knowledge. Then I did my MBA, and a little bit like Wes, I had a moment of, wait a second, there's so many different business models out there. I don't have 500 grand to invest in a company and spend the next 30 years trying to get that 500 grand back and pay like, so much money to other people and shareholders and have employees and have to manage them. And so my MBA kind of turned into like, what do I want to do with my life? And instead of like focusing me to a pinpoint, it kind of opened all these other doors. And I was trying to figure out, what do I want? And I became a mother while I was finishing my MBA. And so at that point, it was not about me anymore. It was all about her. And the focus was on her. And what can I give her? How can I give her all the opportunities in the world? So having just finished my MBA, I sat down and I studied all the different business models. Being an entrepreneur, starting your own, like a startup in Silicon Valley. We visited Google. We visited something Noodle, like a new startup. And we saw all these people that are completely in debt. They own, like their lives are owned by anyone and everyone who gave them money. So that was a big no-no for me. I've been working for the Canadian Forces for a few years, and I'm a woman. I don't have military years. So I like moving up the chain. And again, for what reason? Being stuck pinpointed to a salary was just, I didn't want that. So after studying all the different business model, I realized that network marketing was essentially the only business model that would allow me to give not only my daughter, but myself all the opportunities in the world and to allow us to reach our dreams and our goals. So chose the industry. Now I needed to know which company to go for. And then I came back into my life in 2015 by a friend of mine, and I just jumped on the opportunity because I knew the product, I believed in the product, and I had consumed them for a whole year. That's why I'm saying, guys, your backbone are your customers. They are, for my business, they're 95% of my entire downline, and I love them every day. I support them. I coach them because you never know when they're going to turn into business builders. And I'm the first person that 2 years ago would have laughed at you telling me that I was going to end up doing a business with Isagenix. So focus on your customers. They're the ones that already have one of the beliefs down. They believe in the product. They love the product. They're usually a product of the product or getting to be a product of it. So love on them, continue on them. I'm the first proof of it. So I started a year ago, and I'm so excited. We're 100 people in our team, actually 96. I'm going to celebrate at the 100. It's growing exponentially. I know, thank you. It's wonderful. So that's my story. And yes, my daughter is my best and most amazing business partner. Don't be scared to bring your children on meetings. They are a good icebreaker. Like, you can talk for the first 5 minutes about your child and no one's stressed, and then it kind of builds that foundation. If you have a pet, bring your pet. If you have a niece, bring your niece. It's for men, it's a chick magnet. So think about it. Use the tools around you. So my daughter comes to every meeting with me. She is part of, she was in the Red and White Toronto. She was there with me. She was at Celebration. My mom was babysitting her, but she's always in it. And to be honest with you, if I'm meeting someone who's not welcoming my daughter in, I don't want that person into my team, because Isagenix is all about family. So for me, it's a huge component of it. So use whoever you have that could break the ice for if you're shy. And it kind of leads into the belief piece of how important it is to believe in yourself and to use the tools around you to build that. So we often refer to all the 6 belief that are important to succeed in life that David Wood always tells us. And it's belief in the product, belief in network marketing as a profession, belief in the company, belief in the compensation plan, believe in yourself, but believe also in your self-building network marketing. And those are the two pieces that I had personally to work especially hard with. So that's kind of what I'm going to focus on for tonight. So I was the person that had probably the lowest self-esteem ever in the past few years. Like, I've always lived into my friend's shadow. I was very outgoing, but very awkward at the same time because I didn't necessarily know how to talk to people. I was intimidated by everyone. So it was just a mess. Words would just come out in no sentences, no punctuation whatsoever. And people would look at me like, did she talk? It was extremely messy. My self-esteem was very low. I was never the most pretty one that the guys looked at to be in a relationship with. I was always the friend that went surfing, that went paddleboard, that played sport with. So I was never the one that they looked into for a relationship. So that didn't help either. I was never super fit. I was always not overweight, but a little like chunky. And so all of these put together, I was never able to look at myself in the mirror to say like, hey, you look beautiful today. I always had criticism against myself. And that was extremely hard in my 20s. Like, that was the hardest part of my life. And I was trying to find where I want to go, what I want to do. And to be honest with you, it changed the moment that I had my daughter. Because for the first time in my life, it was not about me. It was about somebody else. And that's the huge piece that we keep on saying. It's not about you. It's about them. And so when you take the onus about yourself, all the stress kind of lets down, right? And it has helped me anyway. So use whatever you have, whatever you can. I have Post-its on my mirrors that tells me how beautiful I am, that you can rock this, you can do this. I don't care what people think anymore. And I can't remember who said that at Celebration, but they said, if it bothers people what you do, it's actually because you're doing something right. So you're hitting them at a point in their heart or in their values that they're probably not addressing at the moment. They're probably pushing aside. So keep on pushing out there. You are beautiful. You are absolutely amazing. Each and every one of you have the most beautiful personality. Use it. But sometimes it's hard, and I understand that, and I hide behind my daughter, but my daughter allows me to break the ice off and engage into people and kind of let them see for what we are together as a team. And they don't care about how stressed I am or anything. They just roll with it. So anyway, I feel for everyone who has low self-esteem. I was there. I now have passed that, so it is doable. So that's the portion I want to address on believe in yourself. Like, continue to do training, but it's not only about yourself, but it's yourself into what you're doing, right? So it's the same concept as if you're a nurse and you're giving someone a shot, and then the person's like super scared, and you're like, yeah, it's actually going to hurt really bad, dude, but suck it up. That's not going to help. So you have to believe that what you're going to do is going to be helpful for them, right? You have to believe into the industry from which you're working into. I was the biggest skeptic with network marketing, just thought it was sales. Even though my parents kept on saying I can sell snow to an Inuit, I never wanted to do anything about that. So, but I realized that what we do is not about selling, it's about sharing. So it was like a misconception. So we all have misconception, and the beauty about network marketing is that you earn while you earn. You earn while you learn. So continue to do, I have podcasts every morning in my car, even when my daughter screams because she wants her little music. I'm like, no, Eric Worre is more fun. So we listen to Eric Worre in the morning. And then at night I'm part of Lynn Agadon's team. So I listen to her podcast with Michael Klaus. And so I continue constantly on a daily basis, at least 30 minutes a day, to focus on what is network marketing and how can I fit within that. And it strengthens my belief. It strengthens my belief about myself, but it strengthens my belief we work into. It's the most beautiful profession in the world. It's a vehicle that allows everyone to reach their goal pending the effort that you put into. It's not, it doesn't come overnight. The being a millionaire in 14 months is not the standard, but it is doable. So I don't think that working for the Canadian Forces will allow you to become a millionaire in 14 months. In my opinion, if someone can prove me wrong, sure, go for it. But it gives you, it's the vehicle that gives you access to all of your dreams. So use it wisely, use it to help develop your heart, develop your vision. And when your vision is clear and you know what you want, just like my daughter allowed me and forced me to sit down and say, okay, I have this tiny human, single mother, by the way, so it's not like I'm relying on someone else to kind of figure it out for us or with us. It's only her and I. And so I had her at 4 pounds leaving the hospital, and suddenly her future life was in my hands. And I had to decide, what do I do with that? So it shifted everything for me, and it allowed me to clarify my vision, my purpose, what's in my heart. So ask yourself a question. When I'm laying in my grave or in the box of ashes and you're looking back at yourself, what are you going to be proud of? Is today, I always had that. When I was living in Costa Rica, I was traveling with an American, and I never understood why he was saying that, but he kept on saying, today is a good day to die. Today is a good day to die. Because we had accomplished so many things during the day. We saw so many people. We talked to everyone. We lived. We were living. We weren't working to live, we were living. So think, question, are you today ready to say, today's a good day to die? I've accomplished so much. Don't go and kill yourself, that's not what I'm saying. But have I accomplished what my heart desires? Am I going towards my vision, right? So, and if you're not, take a step back and look at yourself. Look at your belief. Your belief in the product, in the company, in yourself, and yourself within the company, in all of these items. And I'm going to end on this a little curiosity, to build curiosity for maybe next session or the next future ones. But there was a breakout session at Celebration. I can't remember his name. Anyway, I walked in late, but his concept was, you don't remember what to do. You are always like you're teaching new people. You always go back to the basic. ABC, 1, 2, 3. ABC, 1, 2, 3. You can even sing it with Michael Jackson's in the background, but go back to ABC, 1, 2, 3, and the B stands for belief. So I'm not going to go into the other ones, but the B, and that's that's the foundation of your business. So that's it, guys.
That was so awesome. Thank you so much, Claudine. I love that you highlighted, about your daughter. A lot of people on this call, don't have kids, because a lot of us are, teens and early 20s. But I was talking to Tina today. She was like, what's your biggest thing? And I'm like, I just want to have babies. Like, I don't care if no one's in my life. I just want to have babies and just travel with my babies. So, I think that's so wonderful. And a lot of us were at an event yesterday in Toronto, and they have a whole, section for moms and dads and babies, and I love our company because they're so welcoming for kids, and you can bring them everywhere. There's not a lot of other corporate entrepreneurship, any jobs really, that you can bring your kids along with you. So I love that you said that. I love that you touched on loving your customers and not assuming. Even for myself, I was basically I dabbled a little bit, but a customer for 2 and a bit years, and I didn't get the vision. I just woke up one day and I got it. And there's so many people like that. So 95% customers is that's a real number. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. And I also I hope you guys wrote down Eric Worrier. That is someone that will change your life. If you read GoPro, if you look up Eric Worrier on YouTube, phenomenal. Just building your belief in network marketing. That is the one thing when people ask me what is one thing that you read or that you love, Eric Worrier. Write it down, listen to it every day. It's phenomenal. Okay, so you guys are so awesome. I love that, we had someone from like every side of Canada today. So you now have a connection in Calgary. You now have a connection in Quebec. You are connected to an athlete. Like, I love that, there's all these dynamic people coming out and sharing their stories. I would love to hear more of your guys' going forward here. So moving forward, if you guys have anyone new from all these connections that you've made today, the Live Out Loud call, I hope you guys have tuned into it before. It's on Tuesday nights. It's also a Zoom room. It's open to anyone. It's more of an op meeting. So, bring your new people that you've connected with today and, later this week. And our next Sunday call is going to be, I know it's a long weekend, but I hope you guys can tune in there too. We have some really exciting speakers. Tina has confirmed for a few weeks in advance, Jason Liu, Tara Romano, CG Siddons. We have some really exciting people joining us on this call. And if your people weren't able to get in tonight, or maybe if you tuned in late, all of this will be recorded on our YouTube channel, which is just Understart Canada. So share it away, share a call next week. And also Tina and I have talked about doing a little bit of a contest so that we can get some promotion going, like the Eat More Plants contest. We're going to do a Start Canada contest. So there's going to be a pinned post in the Start Canada Facebook page. And I want you guys to take the best Start Canada. I don't know if you're, standing in your Isagenix Canada shirt, or if you're standing with your Start Canada team, or if you're mixing maple syrup in your shake. Just do something Canadian, post your pictures, and I think we'll probably give away a box of e-shots for that too, for the best picture, right? So maybe we'll put that up for. I'm really excited to see some of those. Okay, and then are we going to take a screenshot, Tina? Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. You guys that are hidden, some of you guys are hiding. Can you, if you guys don't mind popping out, open your video up. Let's get everyone on here if we can, unless you're naked. That's not good.
Unless you're naked.
Well, it could be good to be naked, but I won't go there. I'm trying to get my, hold on a sec. There we go. Okay, you guys. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are all hiding. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. Let me get the other screen. 1 second here. 1 second. All right, we're going again. You guys ready? Oh, you guys are so freaking cute. Look at you. I love it. Okay, we're good.
Well, okay, so we're all